You never know. All right. What is Patrick Dumont saying now? 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Oh, man. Is this going to... I actually don't know if I know what he sounds like. Have I heard him talk?
Part of leadership.
What's going through your mind? How did you frame a decision of such magnitude like this?
So tough decisions are never easy. And part of leadership is looking at risk and looking at all the factors of a decision and being willing to act at that time and look to the long term and not only think about the short term or how it may be received immediately, but to think about the long-term benefits and what it may allow you to achieve if given all the right considerations. And I think for us, going into the trade deadline last year, we were not competitive. If you recall, we were not a playoff-bound team. And we were able to do some things to reconstruct the roster and enable the team to become very competitive. And after the trade deadline last year, we actually had the best record in basketball, which was a big accomplishment. And we got to the championship games, and we didn't win. It was a big accomplishment. And we got to the championship games, and we didn't.
Championship games? We got a dumbass in charge, guys. We kind of thought that we did, but it's been confirmed. We have a dumbass in charge, guys. Championship games. We knew when he said Shaq was a hard worker that we were talking about somebody who probably did not know much of anything at all about basketball or the NBA. Championship games. Guys, it's if you didn't think it was over, this has cemented it. It's over. It's over. He said championship games, guys. It sounds like me talking about hockey. He owns the team. He's justifying trading Luka Doncic, and he said championship games.
Didn't win. And so we had to decide, how do we get better? What can we do to improve our team? And so we looked at our trajectory during the season and realized that we did not get better. But the teams that we competed against, some of which we beat, did get better. And ultimately, when you look at the Eastern Conference, after we were to get through the Western Conference, if we're so fortunate, you would have to beat some very formidable teams, including one that we lost to, which actually got better. So this was a decision about the future. If you look at our roster today and who we have, we feel like we position ourselves to be incredibly competitive against the best teams in the NBA. And if you're a fan of basketball, I'll just throw that out there, you have Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, and either Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively as your starting five. That's going to put fear into a lot of teams in the league if we can get going.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Right? And so the objective was, how do we create a roster for the future that allows us to be the most competitive team? I've said it all along. I don't know if you heard what I said when we actually bought the team from Mark, but we want to win championships. We want to be a winning franchise for the city of Dallas, and we want to be one of character, one of community involvement, and one where we sort of carry on the legacy of the Dallas Mavericks in the right way.
What the fuck is the background noise? It's like they're at like a dinner or something. I don't know. That really was a nothing ass answer. Calling the finals and championship games. Luka eating. That was my chat that said that, guys. The sound in the background of that video was not Luka Doncic eating. They're at a dinner. Luka's in LA. I think he's in New York right now. I mean, I don't know. That's a nothing answer to me, bro. That really is. I don't understand any of the logic at all behind it. I'm telling you guys. It's just, we don't understand. I don't understand the logic. I don't understand. I just there's so much more to this, man. I don't get it. I really don't. The fact the Mavs had Lively, PJ, and Luka to play together for the long run past Kyrie and Clay years is what makes it so much worse. If you turn to an OKC fanboy, I completely understand. Thank you. This Dumont's helping me out because just laying the breadcrumbs. So whatever, inevitably in a month from now, if I come to you guys and say, all right, guys, the team I'm picking is the Oklahoma City Thunder. You guys are like, yeah, well, you know, yay, man. Just do what's best for you. Is there more to it? Seems like they're just fucking idiots. When I say more to it, what I'm saying is I'm thinking their frustration with Luka, and I want to phrase this correctly. Their frustration with Luka probably ran way deeper than they're letting on. Now, whether that frustration was justified or not is a completely different story. I'm just saying. Their frustrations with Luka ran probably deeper, so much so that they probably expected, and I think what it was, they expected the fans to be like, oh, I understand. Like, they basically came out there like, guys, you don't understand. We were so pissed off because of X, Y, and Z. And they thought the fans would just be like, oh, okay. All right. I understand it. I completely get it. Only thing that proves is Nico made the decision and Dumont was only okay if you think it'll help us win those championship games. Yeah, Dumont just wanted to go back to the championship games. And Nico, which, yes, Nico's running the franchise through and through. Nico's running the... They just didn't want to pay him all that money. That's it. It's not that deep. I don't think it's a cheap thing. They didn't want to pay him all that money. You are correct on that front. But I don't think it was because we're cheap and we don't want to pay it. It's because they didn't think he was worth it. You know? Then why pay Kyrie $315 million? Because I think they think he's worth it. That's it. Brady, you might be right about the frustrations, but why answer like a dumbass? I mean, outside of saying championship games, this wasn't like a dumbass answer. It was just a nothing burger. Have they even agreed to $315 million? No. Is Kyrie even eligible for that? Much money? Shams did say before the ACL injury, after Kyrie tore his ACL, that he was well on his way for a max extension. They didn't like Luka, plain and simple. That's really it. That's what I said day one. I was like, I don't know, guys. They must have hated his ass. They must have hated him. Lil Ness with the 199. Just woke up. Any good PR news from the Mavs today? Yeah, we're swimming in it. But Kyrie's worth it now? Ridiculous? Well, after the ACL injury, I'm not sure if that's the same. But beforehand, yeah. He made a handful of stupid statements. Dallas worse this year. Boston better this year. Yeah, I don't know the Boston better thing, but he is right. He was right on the fact that we literally just talked about this. Was right in the fact that the rest of the league did get much stronger. The rest of the league did get much stronger. But the Mavs also got stronger. And yeah, the record, Cooper Flag is in a wheelchair. Sadly, you were a genius in focusing Cuban. He's totally getting a pass. There's no way the owner who traded for Luka allows him to get traded as part owner unless he was in on it. Yeah, Cuban's not. I do not think Cuban is an innocent party in all of this. I really don't. He did not have a boot on, no. We have to sign Kyrie to save face and salvage our reputation with agent players. We're kind of on a bind. Yeah. You might not. It might not be a max anymore, but they're going to bring back Kyrie, guys. I'm not worried about that in the slightest. I'm not. Yeah, that's true. Wheelchair is not the biggest deal. Just doesn't look good. especially a week away from the tournament starting. Like, yeah, I guess Cooper Flag did sprain his ankle in that one game, and because of that, he's dropping all the way down to 13th. Did Luka show up to games drunk or something? It must have been really bad for them to make the decision. I don't know, man. Mavs trade Kyrie for nothing. Are we riding? They're not going to trade Kyrie for nothing, man. Kyrie and AD feel so safe to me. And you know what? PJ kind of feels very safe to me. I've kind of walked back my KD stance, where I thought for sure the Mavs would go in at KD. I thought about it a little bit more. I think they're going to try. And probably a week ago, I would have said, I bet KD is a Maverick next year. Not sure anymore. Who do we have to get for Kobe White? I don't know. I don't know what Kobe White's value would be. Katie is a diva. I have a name in my mind that scares me. I just have to be honest with you. No. Yeah, Zach LaVine. He's making like 10 less million, so I think there's a way you could get there. I'm just so like, it feels like, am I misremembering? Or were there not reports that the Mavs like wanted Zach LaVine and that Nico liked him? Am I misremembering that? Like why do I have that in my memory? If we got Trey for Kyrie, would you be mad? That would be such a fucking... Why would the Hawks do that? Like, am I misremembering those reports that the Mavericks were super in on LaVine? I don't think it was ever said that Nico liked LaVine. Wasn't it that the Mavericks liked him or something like that? I'm trying to remember when that was, though. Zach LaVine could be traded to the Dallas Mavericks. The Chicago Bulls have been... This is from 2022. LaVine can't defend, so that's throwing out the defense wins championships from Nico. It was before the Kyrie trade. Tim McMahon 3 months ago. 2 years ago, the Mavericks tried to trade for him before they got Kyrie, and the Bulls weren't interested. Oh, well, there you go. A LaVine Mandela effect. Well, no, I see I was right. Zach LaVine. Your opinion on Mavs for AD? Embiid, Mavs for AD? I'm if they trade for Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis for Joel Embiid, that will be it. I will not root for their team anymore. That will be it. I will not do it. LaVine or Ja? I mean, I'd much rather have Ja. They'll do something. You know they're going to do something in the offseason. The question is what? The question is what? Ja's not out of the question. Nike guy. Odds on Jaylen Brown. The Celtics look to make a change. Jaylen Brown to me is like a Rockets. The Rockets, the Nets. We're getting both Thompson twins to have a trio of Thompsons. What did we do in Slightly GM? We got a SAR, right? We got a SAR because in 2K, the simulation we did, he turned into a fucking monster, and we pretty much had to get him. Nico fumbled on Curry. Are we seriously believing in him? Unfortunately, he's the GM of the team. Yeah, we had the Wagner bros. And then we had the Wagner triplets because we had some random auto-generated guy with the last name Wagner, and we just pretended he was a... We just pretended he was part of the family. Podcast Beyond the Mavs would make you mad, too. That would be a disaster. I mean... Outside of saying championship games, which we'll just say that maybe he misspoke. Outside of saying championship games, this was really kind of a nothing burger for me.